I didn't actually expect so many changes and so many improvements to happen straight away after the coaching with Fiona. I thought it would take a long time, but I was very impressed that the change in the actions is just coming through much quicker than what I expected. Before my coaching with Fiona, I was pretty much stuck didn't know what to do next. So the new job was not even on my radar at the time to even look for. I went to her with my problems, and the main problem was I just was feeling stuck where I was. I wasn't happy. Looking for a new job sort of came after I had a bit of work done with Fiona, and I thought that's also an option to take. So that was a really good outcome. With Fiona, I could connect on also. I've got a little bit of ADHD, so she could really give me tools to help with that as well. And I think having to talk to her, she's all got this calm persona, which helps you sort of just let it all out, and then you can sort of solve the puzzle of your mind as well. So for me, it was quite therapeutic in a way that I could really, I felt like there's a bundle of thoughts can come out sometime and not make sense. And she could make sense of those thoughts and help me solve the puzzle.
So ADHD often affects confidence. What was your experience on this matter?
I've struggled with confidence my whole life. I can be very chatty, but still lack confidence, which, happens. My experience was that Fiona was well aware of the tools people with ADHD need. And they're not the tools which are just normal psychologists will, give you, but they are more, she has experienced herself and she knows this work and she will share with you. So really, again, her connecting with me on a human level has sort of helped me sort of go, okay, it's not just something you just see on a procedure. She knows how to apply it. She knows how people need to follow through. So for me, it was just talking my language. She could talk my language was really important, that she understands, whereas people could empathize only but not understand.
What was that helped you follow a clear path when pursuing your goals?
Yeah, clearly I wasn't happy where I was. I was less than happy. I was very, very sort of not in the right place. And I think having that, what helped me the most is me and Fiona connecting on what works best for me. And I like to have sort of write things down, have a plan of attack at the end. Her following up with me, I think all that really helped. And I like to be followed up rather than left alone to my own sort of thoughts. So I think that the process helped me to achieve that.
Was there a specific moment in the session that felt like a breakthrough to you?
Just the other day, and this is something I was going to tell Fiona, just the other day I went into a new job and saying no to other people is really hard for me, which brings me to the other side where I'm constantly saying yes, not getting to my timeline and deadline for any project. Whereas the other day I actually said no, but said no not feeling bad, because that's one thing I really struggle with, is creating boundaries. I think for me to know that was easy, it's just a practice. And the second part would be when, building business is not this big gigantic thing. When I spoke to Fiona, she's like, you only need these 3 tools. And I'm like, oh, really? I thought it was bigger than that. And I think knowing that we make it bigger, and there are tools and tricks, a life coach can teach you, which can help you achieve that, even when you are just starting.
Was there something extra that this session brought to you that you were not expecting?
My outcome and my experience in the session was exactly what I needed. So I did have two areas I wanted to solve. One was my current role and the issue I was having in that place, to set boundaries, to be able to look after myself, which, means just working at certain hours and be able to say no when I could and have some time for myself to think about my business. And the second was how to start a business. I think both two areas were covered, and I had an action plan for those.
So, Priya, could you tell me which were the measurable changes that happened in your life after coaching with Fiona?
So definitely big measurable changes that I found a new job, the job which I want, not the one I rush to get it. Something which is going to give me good work-life balance, and it's already doing it. Got a new job, a new home, it's underway. And the one people forget is simple things like I can sleep proper 8 hours, which my stress level was so high before this coaching session that I could not even sleep really well. And I didn't want to meet anyone or go out, and not being myself. And I think I'm back to being myself again. So that's something you can't even put a measurable line on it, but it's great.
Wow, that's great. That's great. How do you feel about all these new happenings in your life?
Really good. Like, I feel like I was in a different headspace before.
Yeah.
And it just feels like I have just left that other side of my thought process behind, and now I'm in this new sort of a year. Hopefully this is a year of, growth.
How would you say that coaching with Fiona has helped you change your thinking patterns?
I would say I'll give you little small examples how Fiona has really changed the way I think. One of the things, just the other day, I was thinking how to build a habit and how to motivate myself to go to gym now. I've got the job, I've got the time, and I was just thinking how she says, we had this conversation where, think about how your brain thinks and do two things at once. Like, I'm reading a book at the same time, listening to a book at the same time as I'm doing some work. And then you feel like you're doing two things at once, like, could be my superpower. Yeah. So maybe if I go to gym, I can either listen to Audible or something, and that could be my superpower. But just feeling that I can remember those tricks from our time together, I feel like I can continue building on that, and that would be it's not something I'm going to just do and forget. I'm constantly going and thinking, oh, what would Fiona think about if I did it this way? Because she has taught me how to change your mindset. And I think thinking pattern has definitely changed, because that saying no to someone, I'm saying it now. I'm not like thinking twice.
It is changing. Something that Fiona showed you, or that Fiona helps you find yourself, that was already in you?
Yeah, I think the way Fiona approaches it is really pretty much the answers are with you. Yeah. And tools, I will say both a little bit. Tools, she has given me some tools as well, but they're very specific to you. Unlike I've done, and this is something I've shared with Fiona as well, I've done at work leadership coaching. And honestly, the tools were just not applicable for me. They were not personalized enough for me. Yeah. So it's not, the answers are within me, and she helped me sort of find those answers for myself, but also go, hey, this is probably the more appropriate tool for you. If you want to use, I can recommend that. And I think knowing and customizing it to individual level is probably her expertise. She understands not every person is going to want or work the same way, or probably use the tool the same way, or find the answers the same way.
Initially, you were thinking that you believed that you needed some ongoing check-ins.
I think initially I did think you might need ongoing sort of 3 monthly or 6 monthly check-ins. It was just because my thought was it would be one of those training where you go, leadership coaching, you get coaching and you have to constantly measure yourself in different areas. And I think now what I've seen the coaching has done and provided me as tools, but also mindset change, that I'm not thinking the same way as I was before. That change, of course, it's not going to be something I can just do one day, but just practicing that and making sure I can foster that and continue to foster it will help me to not go backwards. And I think the check-in for me was more like, am I still following this habit, or have I slipped through and not followed through? But knowing that I've already started working on my job or my business and got this change of job, I'm positive that my steps are in the right place, and now I just need to continue to not get anything distract me. So I don't need those like ongoing catch up. I just probably need to make sure I check in with myself, and which is one of the tools to go how I'm going, where I'm at, and then don't forget that that's your goal.
Of course, deciding to do coaching could be a significant investment. Would you say, is it worth it?
It's absolutely worth it. And it was my birthday gift to myself last year. So,
oh, great.
I believe if you want to gift yourself something, give yourself something you can really, use for your rest of the life. So that was my investment on me. And I absolutely think it was a really good investment.
And what would you say to people that think that coaching isn't for them?
I will say that I think, like as individuals, yes, you can say some people think that they don't need coaching, but for me, and I will recommend it to a lot of other people who I've heard, and I think I heard myself say this for years. Oh, I want to do a business. I want to do this. I want to, start something, but I don't know where to start from. And I know there are many people who are still saying that. And when they are, I think they do need coaching, because that's how I felt when I said it for 5 years that I want to start something and didn't start. Because eventually you get stuck with your day-to-day life, and you just go back into your old habits and go, oh, I'm not going to try something new. So I think coaching is it breaks your pattern, your thinking pattern, which is, I think, is really important if you really want to have a change in your life.
Would you say that this personalized coaching was also key in helping breaking this pattern?
I absolutely think that's a key, because as I said, in my experience with other coaches, they're very much, this is the protocol, follow through that. With Fiona, it was more, we're not talking about any protocols or any tools, we're talking about you first. And I think that's really important, really understanding what are the blockers for me, and really personalizing the coaching based on those blockers has made it successful.
And what made you choose Fiona?
So I just Googled a lot of people.
Yeah.
First, I followed her on her page. I think it was Instagram. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But I followed her tips and the things she does on Instagram. And then I saw reviews, and I just contacted her, and she was really good, and she was so proactive to call me.
Yes.
And what I really liked, and I think I haven't seen anyone else do it yet, where she calls and she talks you through what you want, what is your expectation of this coaching. So that's not like just get in, I'm not going to talk to you, just get in, give me the money, and I'll do the coaching. Yeah. She had a really good conversation with me, and I was very impressed by that conversation, and I was quite confident with that. I wanted someone who I can connect with, and I connected with Fiona straight away.
Perfect. So would you say like her point of strength was that Fiona connects very well, especially on a human level, with her clients?
Yeah, absolutely. She's very empathetic, and I feel she gives you focused time. And and that's why sessions are so great even afterwards as well, that it's not, it's not 1 hour, it's not 2 hour, it's that time you need. And that's just, to me, it's amazing, because you're not looking at time, oh my god, I've just done a half conversation, not the other half. She connects really well, she gives you ample of time, she's got empathy for people.
Is there something that you would like to say to Fiona?
Just I'm just thinking about how it makes me teary. I was in a very tough place when I found Fiona, and it was one of those times which I don't want to think about it, but you go through it and you realize that it was quite tough. Now, being on the other side, I'm so glad that I've come through it, but I wouldn't have done it without Fiona. She had supported me through the tough times. So, absolutely. Thank you, Fiona.